Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to another Divisive Movie Month. This time I'm reviewing a 90s film from 1990 starring Gene Hackman and Dan Aykroyd. Loose Cannons. Yeah, the 1990 buddy cop action comedy. More comedy than action, but it's got both, so it counts. This film, yeah, came out in 1990. It's directed by Bob Clark. I think he was the one that did A Christmas Story. Yeah, and it also has Dom DeLuise, Ronnie Cox, and a bunch of other people in it. This is kind of an underrated film. I know Dan Aykroyd was not a fan of working on this movie. He said it should have been buried. It's not the worst thing he's done. He also did North and Fembusters, so those are way worse. This is the premise. Oscar winner Gene Hackman and Dan Aykroyd start as mismatched partners in this outrageous comedy from the director of Porky's. Aykroyd is a brilliant police detective who always hides his true identity, but he's not undercover. He's schizophrenic. Schizo, like Deadpool in the comics. Together, Hackman and Aykroyd's personal cast of thousand tackle a baffling murder with a trial that leads to all the way back to Adolf Hitler. The FBI and the Israeli Secret Service can't solve the case, but then they don't have Aykroyd's multitude of personalities on their team. So basically, this was Split before Split came out. So, and some people have that problem. Suspense and comedy collide in this off the wall thriller that's loaded with personality. I agree with that. It's not the worst comedy of 1990. I've seen way worse. The people just hated it because it was something different and it was off the wall comedies, which we didn't have back then. Now everything is trying to be a comedy, even films that don't. And the movie bombed. It only cost 15 million and only made five. But I think it's underrated. I think it should not have been. This wasn't a direct to video movie. This was in theaters. I did laugh sometimes. There's scenes that Dan Aykroyd he starts grabbing his head and then he just loses it and then he pretends he's the lion from the Wizard of Oz like I'll fight you with my eyes closed. And then there's a scene where he's doing a scene from Star Trek and it's like warp speed. And then there's another scene where he's like, "Hey, bad guy!" Like he's a cartoon in this movie. No wonder Dan Aykroyd hated the movie. But I like watching it because I like watching Dan Aykroyd be a cartoon sometimes. I mean, not everything in Ghostbusters he did was, deep. Yeah, the film was a flop. I don't understand why. It got mostly universally negative reviews. It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Really, this movie, not Disaster Movie, not Meet the Spartans, not even the Emoji Movie didn't get that. I mean, that got a lot of hate, but not a 0%. I mean, that's just pathetic, guys. Critics don't know what the hell they're talking about. This movie's fun. It's short. It's not. It's only 94 minutes long, so it doesn't go on for 2 hours like other comedies. And the two leads are fine together. They're not. They're mismatched, but in a good way. And it says here, Mr. Hackman and Mr. Aykroyd deserve much better. Yeah, but they've done a lot worse too. Hackman before this did Superman 4. That's horrible. That's one of the worst movies I ever seen. It says Variety said that Aykroyd's dexterous multi-personality shtick is the only redeeming feature. Yeah, because he's a cartoon. Dom DeLuise is also funny in the movie. There's a scene where they're on a bridge and they have to jump, and he's like, "Are you crazy?" Ah! And then there's a scene he's in the hospital, and he's like, "You shot me in the ass." That was funny. Yeah, I miss Dom DeLuise, man. He always makes me smile. Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert gave it a thumbs down vote on their TV show and called it the cop buddy comedy that hits new lows in undisputed field. I don't know what that means, but guess what, guys? I've seen worse. North is one of the worst comedies ever made. And yeah, the thing is, it goes by quick. The action sequences are well shot. When there is action, Robert Prosky's in the movie. He plays a German officer named Kirk von Metz. You also have Yeah, this is several episodes. When he blacks out, he also includes Popeye, Captain Kirk, like I mentioned before, and the Roadrunner. Hey, when I'm on camera, sometimes I'm 15 personalities, just doing, but it's more impressions and thinking I'm a somebody else. I'm not schizo, guys. Trust me, I know who I am. I'm fat, but I'm not. I know who I am. Yeah, and the Roadrunner, beep beep. Yeah, There's also, yeah, Harry the Hippo Gutterman. Yeah, that's Dom DeLuise. Ronnie Cox is Bob Smiley, and Nancy Travis is in the movie as Rebecca Lohengrin. So it has a decent cast, and it's not wasted. You also have David Allen Greer's in it in one of his first films. I like him. Apatha Murkison is Rachel, and a bunch of others as well. And trust me, Hudson Hawk is worse than this movie. This is an R rating that actually works, and it is cartoonish and it's dumb, but it didn't cost $65 million, and it doesn't have a woman acting like a freaking dolphin. Yeah, I'll get to that movie soon because that's also a very divisive movie. But I'd sit through this one any day over Hudson Hawk. Because that's a stupid movie that doesn't even know what it is. It's trying to be a comedy, a cartoon, a heist film, an action film, a musical, and this and that. It's just too much. It rubbed me the wrong way. Like it's directed by Rennie Harlan, and he could do better than that. Come on now, that movie is garbage. This at least is funny. If you want to see a wild R-rated comedy that doesn't say the F word every other sentence, they do curse in it, so it's not for kids. This is a movie for you. And if you shut your brain off, you'll have some laughs. And Dan Aykroyd playing a schizo is better than half of the people I don't buy as a schizo. Like this dumbass from X Men First Class, James McAvoy. I don't buy him being 25 personalities. I just don't. He can't even do one, guys. One. So how's he gonna pull out 25? Plus, he doesn't do cartoons. This guy does. The only cartoon James McAvoy ever did was Arthur Christmas. I could skip that. I don't care. It's British. I don't care. This is funny. This is more my kind of humor, not British cracker humor where it's like shouting and acting cartoonish and stupid and talking about tea. Yeah, that's not for me, guys. This is for me. This I haven't seen yet, so I'll review that some other time. But this is a fun movie. If you shut your brain off, Gene Hackman kind of shows his acting chops from French Connection, where he was really good as Popeye Doyle. And it's not serious; it's a cartoon. Go know what you're going into. It's not the worst movie in 1990. Trust me, I've seen way worse from that year and afterwards. Like I said, Hudson Hawk. I'll get to that one. This is fun. Watch it, but know what you're getting into. Don't expect The Hangover or Home Alone or the Blazing Saddles or Spaceballs. It is what it is, and it's funny for what it is. It's not the worst thing ever. Ignore the critics; they're wrong on this one. Trust me. Anyway, I think it's underrated, and you should give it a watch at least once. If it's on Netflix or Hulu or on Vudu or whatever, it's fun to watch. I like the film for what it is. It's definitely worth getting for $1. And even if it doesn't hold up the second time as much, I'm still gonna laugh seeing Dan Aykroyd like a cartoon because he knows what it is. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review.